so it's whatever. I'm already perfectly charming. The complete opposite of real life with the discussions that we just had earlier in this stream. That's neither here nor there. This is the way we go. Places to be. Go away, burbs. Let me duplicate my skill card. Yeah, I think I just have P5 on the mind. This is what's going on there. Yeah, I'll pray. But yeah. Disagree with me being the better driver. No, I knew that you were referring to something else there. Well, I appreciate the compliment there. You don't use your phone at all while you're driving, which is good. You shouldn't be. See you later. Okay, should I check out the 3 lines here? And you know the rule with guys, they get a compliment, they remember it for the rest of their lives. No, I'm totally gonna remember that for the rest of my life. No. I think the hot summer got to me. See, my arms are burned and my skin is all rough. Do you know the ramen restaurant at Hagakure at the... What? That has nothing to do with the ramen they sell there. Has plenty of collagen to boost your beauty. That's what I heard anyway. Oh, I guess it is related. If you make your skin more youthful, I bet your mind will follow and your husband will love you more. But yeah. Had you look up music for you while you were driving? Yeah, fair enough there. I remember that now. Like... Now the place that I'm distinctly... Why am I going here? Wait, because there's a thing here? I just saw the points there. Yeah, now I distinctly remember when we were coming back from the, would it just be called a farmer's market? Like the fruit stand, farmer's market-y thingamabob? That. Which, speaking of, Guzma, the limes that I bought at that fruit stand that I seeded and brought the seeds home, I sprouted those seeds about a week and a half ago. I have 2 lime tree sprouts. They're about yay big right now. So now I've successfully sprouted limes as of like 2 years ago, so they're pretty decently sized trees now. Oranges, a couple months ago. They're about yay big now or something or other. And now lemons as well that are like yay big. I was saying lemons this whole time, right? And not limes when referring to the fruit stand. Because yeah, limes are like the first one that I started with. So now I have all 3 of the big 3 citrus. There's more citrus things than that, but those are the big ones. And one day, I would like to graft them all together and get a multi-citrus tree. Because it's so cold here that I can never plant a citrus tree outside. So if I'm keeping a citrus tree, it's going to have to be in a pot for life. So if I'm taking care of a citrus tree in a pot for life, it may as well wake me multiple different kinds of citrus. So, but yeah. Now you're about to bring up the fact you remember you getting distracted a bit. Oh, I just thought about that fruit stand, and then I remembered, like, the fact that I can mention that the lemons were coming up. And I thought I might have been getting Mayhaw for a little bit, but it doesn't look like I am. So I don't know if I'll be getting that, but I am getting lemons from Louisiana coming up, which is pretty cool. And they're growing on my desk at work. But yeah, thinking about the fruit stand, now I remember us driving back from the fruit stand and me choosing like different music on your phone. Like I remember pulling up some Final Fantasy 16 music. I was recommending some music and playing some things, and you were being like, and you were recommending some music, and I would be typing it in and getting that going. Well, it should still be able to sprout it. It's same with like the citrus, where like it can germinate here. It's just, yeah, this is a productive stream, isn't it? This is what happens when I stream Persona. This is why this sucks as a stream game, I swear. Let's go out if you've got the time. Whoa, I totally should. Remember the Persona 5 music? I think I pulled up Persona 5 Tactica music, is what I think I pulled up if I recall. And I also specifically remember us pulling over at like several stands that were selling fruit trees, not fruit, but just fruit trees on the way back home, because I was just really curious about like the different things that grew there. And there was all sorts of like citrus trees and so much more exotic stuff that you can get here. It was really cool to browse around like
2 specials.
Figs and citrus and all sorts of cool things there that you would never see in a nursery here. Hold on.
2 specials coming right up.
Okay, that sounded almost like Patrick Seitz for a hot second, but I don't think it is.
Not hungry?
That's not it.
All right then. Well, you're still growing. You can handle at least 1 bowl of ramen. Because I said I'd treat you. I can't
thanks,
go back
man.
on my word. It's bad for my conscience.
That makes sense.
I'm just keeping the promises I made. That's all.
Why does this shopkeep have a poster of a lady in a bikini just up in his shop?
Two specials.
Like,
Point is, you don't go back on your word. Especially when it comes to something you promised.
yeah, I don't either. This looks delicious. This makes me want ramen now.
Right.
This makes me hungry.
Don't want the noodles to get soggy. I was thinking earlier. You really don't take any shit. Even from your elders. I respect straightforwardness. Less trouble that way. Let's finish up and get the hell out of here.
I'm pretty straightforward in real life.
Welcome back. Were you together?
No!
Wait, Aragaki. Have you considered returning to school at all? It's been some time since second semester started. Regarding your attendance, it'd be best if you went back as soon as possible.
Having second thoughts? I don't know.
I got the paperwork, but I don't remember saying anything about turning it in.
Again, illusion of choice.
Anyhow,
That's totally a response to the first thing,
Then why?
rather than the second thing that I
Why
selected.
did you come back here? I apologize. It isn't my place to ask that. Everything is my fault. I shouldn't have gotten you or Akihiko.
Have I seen that portrait before? We saw the look into the camera one a couple times, but the facing toward the camera and looking down to the bottom right might be new. I don't know.
I didn't know what I was capable of. That's all there is to it.
Did he have to suppress his persona
Then
because it goes
why
out
are
of
you
control?
so determined not to return to school? You'll be throwing your future away if you don't go back.
Can't force him.
Right.
I could have just selected to calm down and she would
I was out of line.
say the exact same
I
thing.
don't plan on forcing you into anything like I did in the past. What's important is it's your own decision, Aragaki.
Looks like you have changed. Just a little bit. You always used to avoid relying on people. Not so much of a lone wolf anymore, huh?
The only choice we have is to keep moving forward. That goes for myself, Akihiko, and you. So please, Aragaki, just give it another chance.
What are you guys up to? Looks like a pretty serious discussion. Let me guess. Miss President is lecturing the delinquent on the importance of his education?
Akihiko!
Well, I'll be damned. For protein-fueled, muscle-bound moron, you're pretty smart.
What was that?
Cool!
See ya, Miss
Snapped it really fast.
This delinquent's gonna go to his room and think about his bad choices.
Wait, we're not finished yet.
Like, it wasn't even a, what was that? Or anything. Like, it was a genuinely, like, super
Akihiko,
ticked.
why are you like this?
Amazing delivery.
Huh? What just happened? Was it something I said?
Muscle-bound moron.
What?
He's not even that swole.
Hey! What'd I even do?
I feel like my charm improved after hearing Aragaki's perspective. Ah, yes, it's definitely more important, or important to become more charming. I put more in the wrong place in that sentence because my brain malfunctioned. Okay, let's see here.
Welcome back.
Greetings. Come to think of it, the crops I planted on the rooftop should be ready for harvest for now. Maybe I should go check on them. And hello, Rico Bannon. You can do that? Sell fruit trees? Yes. Just go to, like, any nursery and, there'll be, like, fruit trees in pots for sale that you can take home and plant. There's a plum tree in the backyard here that we bought at a nursery. It's just a multi-grafted plum tree. There's like 5 different types of plums on this tree in the backyard. And it's kind of the thing that kind of inspired me to get into grafting myself. When we got this tree where I saw there was also someone else's work of combining multiple different things onto one, and I was like, I want to do that. And maybe this spring I might try putting peaches onto the plum tree in the backyard. Might be kind of cool. But how's it going today, Rico Bannon? Harmonia, I think the biggest thing you should be thankful for is that the roads are super nice up there in Canada. Truck would not last a single day out here driving if you had it here in Louisiana, at least in a main city. In rural country, it would probably be okay. And it would have been designed for rural country. Like, cause it's a work truck, it's a farm truck. and stuff, is what it is. Like, and I mean, cities back when it was made were nowhere near like the size that they are nowadays. Yeah, it would, with how aggressive people are on the roads there, how much traffic there is, and just craziness and all the stop and go. Yeah, it would, yeah, it would not be great. Oh, speaking of, with, the context of the times, want to see something funny with the truck? I'm sure I've shown this before, like, probably like last year when I first got it, but I haven't shown it in a while, and I think it's kind of funny. Here, let me grab a... Check this out. I put it in a frame just because, like, I had this frame around anyway. My dad got this for my third-degree black belt diploma, and it didn't fit my third-degree black belt diploma, so I just had a frame to use on something else. So I decided to use it on this, one of the old flyers that was printed apparently August 11th, 1951 for my kind of truck. Technically the Dodge variant of my truck, so it says Dodge on it rather than Fargo. But wanted a truck that fits the job? Get a Dodge job-rated truck. For all these guys, depending on what their jobs are. I travel city streets. I haul over the highway. I haul big loads. I haul loads that are small. My trips are short. Mine are long hauls. And I just find this like so amusing. This is the one that I wanted to put in the frame. Like, this is such a 1950s ad. Look at all these happy white men talking about their trips and their loads and stuff. And just how happy all these white guys are to be sharing that all. It is so of the times, isn't it? Like, it's so good. So I quite like that one. So, while I have a whole bunch of other old flyers, that's the one I decided to put into a frame. Because you get to see all these happy white guys talking about their trucks and their different trips. And they're just so happy to say, like, I take long trips, my trips are short. I haul big loads, my loads are small. Because the ad is all about getting a truck that fits your job. Also, I find what it's advertising itself to be like a very interesting, stark contrast to the way that things are today. Because the Fargo FP series, or Dodge B series, I believe it was, like same equivalent, like different names. That is a series that I believe had 58 different variations. Like, here, buff potato sprout, sure. Like, nowadays, for one specific model of vehicle, maybe there'll be like 2 or 3 variants, something like that, with different features and things. But with a Dodge or a Fargo, you could customize it for basically whatever you needed. Like, there was 58 different variations for like the different combinations of the different parts that you could buy. So I don't know exactly how it worked. It's not like I was alive at the time. But I guess if you couldn't get like the specific one you needed at a dealership, then maybe you could order it in or something like that. So the whole point of this ad is you shouldn't have to pay for more than what you're using. So if you only haul small loads, then you shouldn't have to pay for a truck that is capable of hauling like really heavy loads, have to pay extra for something that you're not going to use. The idea is you should only have to pay for what you're using without sacrificing quality. Because if you're paying for more stuff than you use, then you've just wasted money. And if you are paying for less than you use, then you're not going to be able to do the job effectively, and you're going to be drowning in maintenance fees of like maintaining it when it's not quite able to do the job that you need it to. So they tried to make sure that you would be getting like the exact kind of vehicle that you needed for the job that you needed to do. Which is not the kind of thing that you would see any modern vehicle manufacturer do. Nowadays, any product that gets manufactured is gonna get filled, like especially vehicles, is gonna be filled with like all the crazy bells and whistles whether you use them or not. And that's gonna be added to the cost of the vehicle so they can charge you more money. Like, that's just the way that it is nowadays. Like, find as many ways that we can to cram more crap into here that you're probably not ever gonna use, just so that we can inflate the value and charge you more. Like, it is so different. Like, very, very different times. And again, like, as I was mentioning earlier, the engine that is over 70 years old in there, made shortly after the Second World War, still works fine to this day. It's everything else that I have issues with, mostly due to its age of, like, things rusting out and needing replacement. But the engine still works okay after 70 years. Like, back then, they made stuff to last. Like, there's no way my car would ever live to 70 years old, no matter how much work you put into it, I don't think. What are the lines here? So, I really, really like this ad, both because it's funny for, like, all the happy white guys, because that's, like, one of the most 1950s ads you'd ever see, and just for, like, the contrast to the way things are today in terms of the way that things are marketed and manufactured. Like, the whole idea of you shouldn't have to pay for more than you use. Like, man, a modern businessman would just laugh and laugh at that. What a silly idea. And it really makes me miss ye old days that I was never a part of. Not like the racism and like inequality parts of it, but the making things to last kind of part, where people were actually making things to be a product that lasts a long time, rather than be something to last until one day after the warranty. Stuff is designed to be consumable nowadays. It's not meant to last. And if you make stuff to last, then you're not going to be in as good of business as people that make things to be consumable. Like, did you guys hear about Tupperware going out of business recently? Because they made such a good product that everyone just gets to use until the end of time, that they don't need to buy anymore, and then their business went out of business. Like, it's so sad, but that's the world that we live in now. Assassin site note, sure, whatever that is, history website note. Sure, I'll go check those out when I have nothing else to do during nights. But it genuinely makes me mad. Like, how things are designed to be, like, so consumable nowadays, rather than actually last. We love planned obsolescence. Yeah. Man. Yeah, absolutely. Greedy companies want money. That is absolutely the case. I'm scared for what the future will hold. Same here. And the fact that things like an iPhone, for example, the fact that Apple holds permission to send patches that make your battery worse and worse as they want, which I have no doubt that they do when new iPhones come out. I don't think it's ever been confirmed anywhere that that's something that they actually for sure 100% do, but people have their suspicions, and it is something that they are legally allowed to do. And like, I see memes sometimes where it's like, oh yeah, I don't need the new iPhone. Suddenly my iPhone 10 battery and like explosion memes, and it's like, yep, that's how it goes, isn't it? Things are designed to be consumable. Yeah, but then one day all those people who made all these decisions we see today will be gone, but then the next generation will see that that's what's profitable the most, right? It's confirmed. Whoa, it has been confirmed? They were taken to court for slowing down their phones with new updates. Oh, jeez. Because, yeah, some of my old iPhones have definitely gotten really, really slow. Yeah, hopefully things get better one day, but I don't know if I see that happening anytime soon because of how profitable it is to make things that are just consumable. Want to watch more of the film series we started together? I just rented another movie from the same series because I wanted to watch it sometime. Watching a detective movie with a motto might help me gain more courage. The reviews online all seem pretty positive, so I'm sure it's worth watching. I mean, the same can be said for a lot of products, where a lot of game manufacturers, rather than making a game as good as they can that'll stand the test of time and be worth playing for decades to come, they just want something that'll be like the latest version of the exact same game, of like some piece of crap that they can pump out on a regular basis just to be consumable and replaceable all the time. Like, look at series that have super regular releases like Call of Duty, for example. Like, I hate to reiterate it when I go on about it in like my Pokemon essays all the time, but I feel like the modern Pokemon games are very much like that, where it's like, rather than really fleshing out a game that's gonna stand the test of time, making it as good as they can, it's just make the next trending thing that's going to get people's interest in like the new generation, the new merchandise, the new events, and advance the VGC forward and all that kind of stuff, rather than making actual really good games. But yeah, I feel like Nintendo and Pokemon has done that recently, especially during the Switch era, just make like super consumable crap. Yeah, honestly. Like, Pokemon. Nintendo has had some absolute banger hits on the Switch here and there, but a lot of them are, yeah, just kind of consumable crap. Yeah, I don't care about the consumer, only care about their brand and their product. Yeah, whether it be like a game company or a phone company or a vehicle company or what have you. Pokemon should have taken the Dragon Quest route. What's the Dragon Quest route? It's just gotten so bad that most times it doesn't even seem like Nintendo even cares about their product with how bad some of their games are. They just care more about their brand. I hope Nintendo loses the lawsuit with Pal World. Same here. Like, if Nintendo wins that, it's gonna set like a really bad precedent for the industry. Not the last boss this stream, but the previous boss during a previous stream. I remember we were talking extensively about that. And yeah, like Nintendo still sometimes can like really take their time and make some really hit games. Like, look at Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I have my fair share of criticisms about that game. Like, I have a lot of problems with it. But I can still look at it and be like, okay, they really took their time with this to make a good quality product, even if it does have a lot of problems with it. It's not just like some cheaply pushed out crap to capitalize off of a brand name. Like, it's something that you can tell had a lot of effort put into it. Even if there's a lot of things I change about it.
A lot of alcohol. When you grow up, are you going to drink alcohol too?
Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree is another good positive example lately. Even though both Elden Ring and its DLC have their fair share of issues as well that I'll absolutely criticize them for. There are things that are designed to be like, maybe not necessarily the best version of themselves, but really high quality versions of themselves where they're trying to make, I feel like they are trying to make the best version of themselves when they're making like Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree from Soft, that is. And that's something that I really respect and appreciate, and to not over monetize things, just have like game plus DLC. Also, let me hit the replay button on that because I had things off. Curvia coming out of nowhere with a 48-month resub now. 4 years, huh? My goodness gracious. I greatly appreciate the 4-year resub there, Carvia. I know you can only use that Prime sub in one place each month. I appreciate you using it here for 4 years. Was that already the case? Have I already did like the 4-year ramble here? Like, I just saw the big number 48 and got hyped. But if that's already happened, it's possible because I know that like Twitch is weird sometimes. 8 years! 4 years twice. I appreciate the 8-year resub, Carvia. The only person that subscribed on the channel longer than the channels existed. Like, that is incredibly impressive. Also, like, some time bullshit. But man, is that ever impressive. I greatly appreciate the 8 years there, Carvia. King Scamp on 49 months. How's it going today? Yeah, basically make higher quality games like Dragon Quest XI and the series as a whole make good quality games every few years. Yeah, like, that is absolutely what Pokemon should do, I agree. And Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you love the game, but there are some issues with it, especially the end game. Yeah, I can agree with that. But yeah, they did definitely take their time to make like a good product there. Not like some cheaply manufactured piece of crap that's pushed out to capitalize off of a brand name. Like, I feel like you can tell when a game manufacturer does that. 2 more months than you? 8 years and 1 month? Where's the extra month coming to? You grow up, are you gonna drink alcohol too? No. I want to avoid alcohol. For whatever reason, my brain thought that said, like, I want to give you alcohol at first.
Drink for work, and that sometimes it's hard to say no. Being an adult is all about taking the shots you're given.
The only times I've ever drank alcohol, there's 2 example situations. Because my dad brews beer, like, as his main hobby, and for his living for a long time, and has a lot of beer equipment here. Sometimes I would give him, like, ideas for recipes, like a mango beer that was, like, apparently one of the most popular beers at the brewery that he worked at when he was there. It's cool to say that I came up with the idea for, like, a really popular beer around here. Stuff like that, where it's, like, a recipe of his, especially if I had an idea in it, I'll try, like, a sip just to see what it's like. I've never really liked it all that much. And I've had wine once. Was it twice? At these food events where you can go to try out all sorts of different things, just because people had Haskap wine. And Haskaps are like one of my big plant praise things right now that I'm growing a whole bunch of. I love Haskaps. I love the taste of them. I think they're really cool, awesome plants. And so when I saw Haskap wines available, I tried one Haskap wine and I tried a Haskap sangria, and just like basically a shot of each of them. So, like, not all that much alcohol getting into my system or anything like that. And the sangria was non-alcoholic. And I tried a decent smidge of that. And it's like, it's kind of interesting. I could taste some of the Haskap. The wine was alcoholic, but only tried a shot of that. So, I've tried things just to taste the flavor before, out of curiosity. If there's a part of it that I'm curious about, like my dad's recipes, or, like, the involvement of an ingredient like Haskaps that I'm super interested in. And that's really it. Like, I've never felt a draw for alcohol. And I remember I was chatting with one of my neighbors about that recently. Like, my old neighbor next door before he moved out, he he would sometimes have like little get-togethers around the block, and one of the neighbors that was there, that was so like one of the other neighbors that wasn't the neighbor next door. We were at the place of the neighbor next door, and one of the other neighbors from around the block, I was chatting with him about that a little bit, saying like, oh no, I'm not interested in alcohol, and he was asking why, and I was just saying like, I don't really see much need to dull my senses, and like I don't really know what the point of it is, and I can get taste from other things that I like juice anyway. And we were actually discussing it for a decent while, and he said something that like really stuck with me in all the months since then. His opinion on the matter was, it sounded to him like I was afraid of the idea of losing control, like the unpredictability of getting drunk and stuff like that. And I've thought that like maybe that's a factor. I also just, I don't know, but that line and that like comment of his, that observation of his, an idea, is something that has stuck with me since. Like, is the main reason why I avoid alcohol because I'm afraid of losing control. But yeah, I've just never really had much interest in partaking in it. But yeah, honestly, I don't know why anyone would use an iPhone. Yeah, when I get a new phone, I might get something different. Haven't actually ingested any alcohol in quite a few months now. Same here. The last time I ingested alcohol was December last year to try Heskap wine. Mom's boyfriend keeps offering you a beer every now and then and tells you to be a man and you just don't want it. That's just stupid. Just because you don't want alcohol, I'm suddenly not a man. Gotta grow out a lustrous beard like me and then say, ha, what about if I'm not a man? Then watch this. Noah. You gotta do that. But yeah. Gotta be best friends with someone who doesn't drink alcohol. Nice. But yeah. I probably it was probably from my iPod Touch and wanting to continue that and stuff in like junior high school and all that. But yeah. Anyway, as we were just saying earlier, wow, we sure are making a lot of progress this stream, aren't we?
I just made a pun, didn't I?
Man,
Alcohol
it doesn't help that this game is so dang long.
Doesn't it? I don't think I'm a
Added
fan
to the
of all
fact
the
that this is
rowdy
like
parties, but having a nice glass does
one of
sound
the
kinda cool.
slowest
Speaking of,
progress
remember that bar
playthroughs.
scene?
Just because I can't stop talking about other things.
Wow, it's late. Watching those
Like this
bonus
game
clips
pulls it out of
harder
me.
than I thought.
Like an exorcism pulling out an evil spirit. Like this game just pulls out the rambles, I swear, and then I make no progress because this game is like nothing but cutscenes all the time. Haven't heard of iPods for so long. How old is your phone? My current one is an iPhone 10. The one I had before that was a 6, and before that I had an iPhone 4. And those are all the phones that I've had that are iPhones. And before that I had a flip phone that I still have around here somewhere. I don't know if I have the cable for it, but I do still have my original flip phone around this house somewhere that I could dig out. I think it's in a drawer upstairs with like a whole bunch of old like Tekken cords and stuff. Yeah, I think it's better to be friends with someone who doesn't drink alcohol than someone who does, because there's a chance they could become an alcoholic and don't want to become friends with an alcoholic. I'm sure more people than not probably partake in alcohol from time to time, and I don't know if how many of them are becoming alcoholics. But the only time I ever really drink any alcohol is probably during a super huge celebration that will have champagne, and that's it. That's fair enough, but
Good morning.
even during like big celebrations, I don't drink alcohol myself. Oh, more humans have wandered in. Only if there's like a taste that I want to try just a little bit. So Dad's recipes are Haskaps.
This time in particular, I believe this human is an acquaintance of yours.
Alright, I'm leaving
Goodbye
them.
now.
Yeah. No, not 7 years ago. It seems that someone I know is lost in Tartarus. If I don't save them, the consequences could be irreversible. I had my iPod Touch in probably late elementary, early junior high school. Well, it probably was. And late elementary is when I had my flip phone. So I would have had my iPod Touch around the same time that I had my flip phone, and I would have just used I had my flip phone before I got my iPod Touch, I think. And my iPod Touch is just something that I would use at home. And then for my next phone, iPhone 10 came out 7 years ago. Well, I guess my phone is kind of old then. I think this is a 10S. I don't know, I can check. Is the case. And I didn't get this when it was like brand new. Like, I'm not some maniac that always needs like the most hit trending thing or anything like that. So I don't know what iPhone we were on when I got this. I've had this for like 3 years or something like that. I don't remember. Let's see here. General, about, model name iPhone 10s or XS. It is there. But I've had it for a few years now. And the storage is giving me a lot of issues right now. here in New Orleans, because of how many people that party here, if you don't drink alcohol, you're straight up boring as fuck. This sounds about right for like the celebratory party stuff that I got the impression of, that I started to understand some of the culture of when I was down there. Even if no big celebrate, well, I guess there was Jazz Fest going on. Apart from that, no big celebration going on while I was down there. I still definitely understood that from the culture when we were there. Like going to like the Mardi Gras Museum and stuff like that. Like, I got it. And the fact that we would go around town and see still Mardi Gras beads in all the trees. Like, I get it that you guys like to party hard there. I definitely got a bit of a understanding of the culture. Very, very different from here. All right. Our next chapter goes over problems of the Sakakura Shogunate. Hold on. Check this out. From this point on, I'm going to like go through all these lines without talking about other things. It's gonna happen. You're gonna be like super impressed with me. Just watch. The Kamakura period's cool and all, but it doesn't beat the Sengoku era. Have we covered enough of this yet? I can skip to Sengoku now, yeah? Yeah, let's do it. Taking a deep dive into the era, starting from the beginning. I love his helmet that he wears during this. That doesn't count, as I'm sure you all know. It's generally agreed upon that the major factor in the Sengoku era's formation was the Onin War in 1467. After that, the next big one was the coup of Mayo in 1493. Let's look a bit closer at the Onin War first, though. In 1467, I'm feeling sleepy. Should I close my eyes for a few minutes? Do I need academics or courage? I only just got my courage up. I've been getting my academics up here and there with other activities, but I need to do it a whole lot more. I'll stay awake. Right. Wow, it's already time? I can't believe that went by so fast. I only made it to 1467, but there's still so much to cover. I guess there's no other choice. Next time, we'll jump ahead to 1468. Force myself to stay awake and listen to the lecture. Wow, I did it. Also, the distraction bits that I did wait until the scene was over to be able to click this button and see stuff with and address. I appreciate the 100 bits
Distraction to remind you about Sly 4.
Whoops. No, I pressed the X button on the stream manager and started playing it. I keep on forgetting that my PlayStation controller can influence my PC. Keep on forgetting that. Isn't the iPhone 16 coming out already? Is it now? Is that what they're on now? Is the 16? Well, buy the iPhone 16 simply just to vomit on and throw it away, and Apple will be so happy that they got your money. So, I mean...
They said we still can't give you back your evoker.
I wasn't expecting them to. That's why I'm in here in the first place.
Oh yeah, how's that cut doing? Ah, right. Probably healed already, huh? So, you're not drawing today?
Does it matter?
Well, not really.
Also, how long are your legs?
Huh.
If the if the bed sheets of the blanket,
Oh, I know.
it shows like the bumps in it to show something's underneath that far down the bed.
What's your favorite kind of... Hey,
She's just gonna step out of this bed like Bayonetta or something? Or like Waluigi?
Huh? Flowers? Those are cut flowers, right? Whoa. How'd you do that?
I gave them a little bit of my energy.
I didn't know your healing powers could do stuff like that. It's like a miracle or something.
It's nothing special. You have powers too, don't you? This is just another form they can take.
Well, yeah, I guess. But that's about all I've got going for me. Without this power, I'd be a nobody. I just talk a big game, pretending like I'm some kind of hero.
I also didn't realize that persona powers could affect outside the dark hour.
I don't know what the hell.
Like, I don't think they could affect outside the metaverse in Persona 5, right?
Reason to live.
Dang.
A good reason to live? Good reason.
When I was a kid, I had this silly dream.
A dream?
I used to want to grow up to be a pro baseball player. Pretty stupid, huh? But I guess that's part of being a kid.
I wouldn't really know. I don't remember much from my childhood. I only remember one thing. Being surrounded by white. Everything was white. I hate hospitals.
Oh, you do. Sorry.
But you've been coming to see me here, so I don't mind as much this time.
Chidori. You mean it? Then I'll come to see you every day.